Hello, sports ballers, and welcome to your one-stop shop for all things Tennessee Pro Sports. I am Dylan Simmons, joined by Catherine Gorbett and Evan Snyder. Welcome to the Season 5 finale of Sportsballin. And like Peyton Manning, we're going to go out on top. Let's get right into the action. Now, the 2024 edition of the Masters was a legendary one for more reasons than one. Bryson DeChambeau had an electric day one. Vern Lundquist made one last call on the green, and Scottie Scheffler added to his closet with a green jacket. Evan, I'll start with you. What did you think of Scheffler's performance?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, him and Bryson DeChambeau were kind of going back and forth there for a little bit, especially kind of towards the back end of round 2 going into round 3. Then, I don't know what happened to DeChambeau. He kind of, I mean, the Masters is all about consistency, and I think that's what his biggest issue was DeChambeau in the later rounds wasn't as consistent, and that's inevitably what caused him to, lose his demanding lead. Because even him and Scheffler were -7 going into round 3, and they were both doing really well. But I mean, Scheffler, again, consistency.
Yep.
Consistency. That's really all the Masters is about. It's a very hard course, a very prestigious course. Everybody knows that. But if you're consistent, you're going to win.
Yep.
And, Scottie Scheffler, his second green jacket in 3 years. So, hats off to him.
I second you with consistency. This being Scheffler's second win for the Masters is great. Now, I'm not that much of a golf girl, but I do know that they did have record sales with their merch this year. And it's just an overall impressive game. I don't like golf really, but I did tune in for a bit of it.
I mean, they did like $1 million an hour.
They
did. According to some
Seven
stats out
figures.
there and
I
stuff,
mean,
so.
it was legit this year. And I want to say this about Scheffler. There are times when we take, I think, greatness for granted, and maybe even times when we don't know exactly what we're witnessing. I think we all know that we witnessed greatness with Scottie Scheffler. He's only 27 years old. He's won 2 out of the last 3 Masters. He proved to me that he might just be the best player when it comes to golf in the world right now. I think that he's that guy. And he talked a little bit about confidence, and he plays with so much confidence on the course right now. And I think he's gotten even better, even more mature as time has gone on. My final conclusion is this: he's a complete package golfer. Even FedEx could not put together a better package than this guy. I mean, that's how good of a golfer he is.
He got like 500 FedEx points for that. But one thing, though, I do want to touch on, Ludwig Aberg did amazing as well. Not probably on people's radar as much going into the Masters. He shot 7 under, placed second this weekend as well. He was very, very impressive.
Yes.
He stayed there the entire time. Other than a double bogey on the first 9 in the last round on Sunday, I think if he eliminates that, and again, consistency.
Consistency,
It's the
yes.
word of the episode, ladies and gentlemen, is consistency. But he's in it. And
Yeah.
also, I loved Max Hami as well. I believe, hopefully I didn't butcher his name. But he was a great story. A lot of people, I think he's gained a lot of fans. And
Yes.
he tied for 3rd. And I hope it's just a big confidence booster for him going for the rest of the season.
I think it will be, and I'll say this as well because we saw Tiger Woods have a pretty tough time in the Masters, and we were talking a little bit about it pre-show, but it was just tough to see that he didn't quite get the finish that he was looking for. Tiger's a legend, but this was not the ideal Masters for him, Evan.
Was not. I mean, finished shooting 16 over.
Yeah.
So and
barely made the cut.
And yeah, I mean, people were a little bit worried if he was going to make the cut or not. I mean, he made the cut at shooting a +1.
Yeah.
So I don't think people were really too worried about it, especially going into Friday.
Yes.
He did have to finish out his, I think he had 3 or 4 holes to play from round 1 because they weren't able to finish because they had a late start on Thursday. So he had to play at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, which probably that didn't help either. But I mean, as much as I hate to say it, Tiger Woods is definitely a shadow of what he used to be.
Yeah, I think that he's a bit of a shadow of what he used to be. We didn't quite have the same flair to it this time. A tough thing all around, but hopefully Tiger can get back up to the top where he belongs soon enough. We'll have to see on that end. But moving on, guys, the Preds are back on the playoff prowl. Nashville has clinched a spot in the wild card round for the Western Conference as the new Preds era has begun to bear fruit. After a 6-4 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets, this team looks more ready than ever to SpongeBob its way to the crown by being ready. Now, Evan, I have to ask you, what is the ceiling for this Preds team, and how do they have success in the postseason this time around?
I don't want to give away too much because my hot take is actually about the Predators, but I'll say this. As someone, as you know, Dylan, and if anybody goes back and watch earlier seasons of Sportsballin, how I used to have almost mental breakdowns talking about the Predators and how abysmal they were last year. I'm glad I wasn't on air earlier in this season, because that would have been a catastrophe.
That could have been bad.
But I think, honestly, where you look at the Preds were at the beginning of the season, and you look at them now,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just firing all cylinders. I mean, sure, you know, there's some things that they can still do doing very well, like their power play unit and their power play kill unit could be doing a lot better as well. But I mean, Forsberg has been lights out. I mean, he set a franchise record in goals in a single season.
Yes.
They also set a single season team goal record this year. The captain, Roman Josi, has been absolutely electric. I mean, Evangelista, Kiefer Shorewood. You have all these guys who, coming into the season, people are like not too sure where they're going to slot in, and especially the second and third line guys. And they've really stepped up, played a huge factor. I mean, Ryan O'Reilly, he's been stellar this season in the face-off circle, and even getting some apples as well. So, but I mean, I think the ceiling is pretty high for the Predators going to the playoffs, and I think honestly, I'm setting my expectations low, but I'm hoping those expectations are well exceeded, and hopefully we see a deep run.
I share that same point with you. This whole season, I've been rooting for the Predators. It's been a little bit of an up and down. They have been on a bit of a comeback streak, even though they did lose tonight, unfortunately. I do think they could potentially make it to the Stanley Cup. It just really depends on if they have that consistency, that word of the episode, if they're going to follow through.
Again,
yeah.
It's like the third or fourth time we talk about
I
that.
mean, NHL playoffs, consistency does
true.
play a lot of fact, especially with your main line guys. So
It can be sometimes the craziest playoff format of all. I mean, there's
yeah.
some wild
Most
stuff that happens.
Most electric.
Most
as
electric,
Mr. Electric
yes.
would probably
I
say
think
over here.
Mr. Electric would agree with that.
They
But
need to have an electric night.
gotta have an electric. I'm sure the Preds will have a few, but I'm gonna say this: the team, they're 24-3 in the last 2 months. Ever since the Ryan O'Reilly acquisition, they've become so much better in these past couple months, and we've got to give a round of applause to Andrew Burnett and Barry Trotz.
Yeah.
What they've been able to do with this team, where they were last year, I think a lot of people left them for dead, to what they've become now, a legit playoff contender, a team that could surprise some people in the postseason. I think they've got a chance to potentially pull a couple upsets. Who knows? Now, we don't know exactly who they're going to be facing off with in the first round, but it looks like Vancouver. So I think there's a chance potentially to maybe get something going there. It's going to be fun regardless for Smashville. Can't wait to see how it works out in the postseason. Smashville is certainly going to be rocking this postseason. But still to come on Sportsballin, we've got even more action coming your way as Nashville SC gets their bell rung by Philly, and the Grizzlies season mercifully comes to an end. All that and more when we come back.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. For as long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You know what makes this place great? It's not the winding canyons, the painted rocks, open fields, or starlit skies. It's not hiking trails that move you, or the views that stop you right in your tracks. You know what makes this place great? The locals. Visit and make Southern Utah's best friends, the nation's largest no-kill animal sanctuary, even better.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all, not one bill. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Your seat cushion can be used to grant wishes.
Who said that? Hello?
Really can, you know.
You talking to me?
Sure am. Because the airline miles you earn and donate to Make-A-Wish can help send thousands of kids on their wish trips. So donate to Make-A-Wish today.
You really should, you know. You really should.
And give wishes wings. Because wishes work wonders.
Welcome back. Nashville SC hosted the Philadelphia Union on Saturday, April 6th, and fought fiercely to get win number 2 on the season. Striker Sam Surridge scored a big 42nd minute goal to give SC the initial lead, but Union would respond to bring it to a stalemate. Then, as Pat Benatar would say, it was a heartbreaker goal in the 90th that gave Union a dramatic win. Evan, I know you've got a bet that you got to live up to, and I got to ask you, what was the difference late?
I got a.
Yeah, bring it out.
I got a bet that I lost. Hopefully, I just didn't knock off my microphone. Anyway, I lost the bet. I made a bet with our technical director, Christian, and saying that SC would win.
Yes.
I'm wearing a Union jersey, so you can tell how that bet went. But yeah, it was just that corner kick. I mean, you'd think you're a professional sports team, soccer team, you think you'd be able to defend against a corner kick.
You would
but
think.
I guess not. Basically just some ups and downs throughout this entire game for SC. I mean, their season hasn't really gotten off to the start that people really think that I have gotten wanted. But Union, though, they're the only undefeated team left in the MLS. So they're doing something really amazing. They got a lot of good things going on. I know Christian's happy. He's also happy to see this. So, so win-lose.
Christian won today.
Yeah, Christian won and Union won. So, it's a win-win for him, lose-lose for me. So.
It was no big surprise for me that SC wasn't going to win. I'm sorry. I know that's the local team, but they really haven't been on fire this season. So, I mean, seeing that jersey is kind of cool.
Ooh, I mean, I know it's not cool for Evan, but what I will say is, like,
no, it sucks, actually.
What was that defense at the end? Like, what are you trying to do with that corner kick? I have seen holes way more wide open than that. The Grand Canyon is a wider hole or is a less wide hole than the hole that was open there on that corner kick. Because you have to be able to defend against that. You can't let that happen in the 90th minute when the match was over. It was over, and you let it go by, you let it slip away. It would have been another draw, which Nashville SC has seen plenty of this season, but it's better than a loss.
We're in the top of the league when it comes to draws. That's all
true.
that matters. But I mean,
always winning the draws.
At some point, the draws have to come to an end. And I think the main thing is a lot of the main goal scorers like Haney Mukhtar and a couple other guys really haven't been firing either. Yep. And I think that's also the main issue for SC at the moment.
I think it's a huge issue right now, and honestly, my conclusion of the finish, -5 stars. That's all I can say. That's how I'd rate that defense on that last play. Bad from Nashville SC. You got to learn and do better than that in the future. But it's been a roller coaster ride that you just don't want to end, or rather you do want to end when it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies this season. Against the Denver Nuggets, it was a familiar theme for Memphis once again. The Grizz ended up seeing 44 points from G.G. Jackson and 29 points from Jake Laveria in the game, but were unable to stop the machine that is the Nuggets' complete roster. Evan, now that it is over, what do you make of this game and the Grizzlies' 2024 season?
Thank God that it's over.
Yes.
Dude, I'm not even really a basketball guy, and I slugged through, when I was a basketball fan, slugged through the Knicks in the early, after the Carmelo Anthony era, and Schroeder and Timothy Hardaway, those guys. So I've seen some bad basketball.
Yes.
But the Grizzlies, the most injured team in the NBA. I mean, John Morant, Steve Adams, everybody was pretty much injured.
Yes.
And I know Houston Chapman, somewhere is out there,
He's out there.
also saying, luckily this is over. But the plus side, though, for the Nuggets, you look at them with this win against the Grizzlies, they do lock down the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. So they're riding pretty well into the playoffs. And, the Nuggets have just looked good all season, with Jokic and, all their players really playing at a really high.
They're title contenders.
Yeah, they're title contenders.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting to see what they're going to do in the playoffs.
I second Evan. I'm just happy that the season's over. I do love Memphis. I'm from Memphis. However, their basketball just is not what it needs to be for the NBA right now, and hopefully they'll do better in future seasons. But they need to rely on more players in the team rather than just one player, definitely.
It's bad when even the Memphis fan is spouting this right now.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to give this big elaborate take. I was going to bring up some stats, but you know what? I've actually got something that I think is even better for the Grizzlies. This is an ode to Memphis. All right.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Memphis, oh Memphis, you were once oh so fun to watch. So why this year were you such a punch to the crotch? You finally got Ja back after months of waiting, only to have him get injured with his shoulder dislocating. Everyone got injured, and your season became a nightmare instead of a dream. By the end of the season, you were basically rolling out a JV team. Now, I don't want to create hard feelings between the Grizzlies and I, but next year, Memphis, please do not finish with a record of 27-55.
All right, Dr. Seuss. Didn't think you would have that. Yeah, let's give a little snap.
Yes, yes. I'm a poet.
I don't know. Dr. Seuss was on this episode.
Yes, he's making a guest
Sportsballin.
appearance.
Very clever. I will not lie. I think that sums up the Grizzlies.
Yes.
The Grizzlies season.
I think it's a perfect summation.
In a haiku, whatever you just.
A haiku, an ode, a poem, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the perfect summation of everything that is wrong with the Memphis Grizzlies. And Houston Chapman, we're thinking about you. We're here. And remember that there is always next year. But when we come back, it's time for season finale heat as we bring you hot takes of the week. Stick around on Sportsballin.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys. You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
As Adele would say, our hot takes can set fire to even the rain. Evan, what do you have for us this week?
Mine was set fire to something. I don't know if it's rain. But anyway, mine are the Nashville Predators will make the Stanley Cup.
We're going to try it again.
Season.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
As Adele would say, our hot takes can set fire to even the rain. Evan, what do you have for us this week?
Yeah, hopefully mine set fire to something. I don't know if it's going to be rain. But mine of the Nashville Predators are going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Whoa.
I'm riding the hype train. I'm riding it.
Okay.
Real brother. I think, the Predators, I think it is confirmed they will play the Vancouver Canucks.
Looks like it, yeah.
In the first round. So they'll play the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, which honestly I think is better than playing. There's probably a prediction of playing the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
And also, I don't want to even worry about playing the Dallas Stars right now for the Predators. Hopefully they'll face them in the Western Conference Finals. But you look at this team. I mentioned it earlier in the show. They've proven a lot this year. And I think, honestly, they're going to carry what they're doing in the regular season into the postseason. And I think it's going to work. I mean, like I said, Philip Forsberg has been an absolute menace this year. Roman Yossi's been really good. You got guys like Ryan O'Reilly, Evangelista, Curie. You had a bunch of guys that are doing really, really good this season. And I think as long as the penalty kill and the power play unit stays hot, I mean, right now they're 16th as a team in the power play. The power play kill is not as high. It's about like 22nd.
Yes.
But I think there's a lot of room to improve, hopefully, going into the playoffs. And, of course, if Yossi or UC Saros and also Kevin Likinen can keep doing their thing between the pipes, I think they'll have no problem.
I want to agree with you there, Evan. I hope that they do make it there.
Whoa.
I know they didn't win tonight, but I'm hoping they get back on their fire streak and we can see them in the finals.
I'll keep this short for time's sake, but I think you're jumping the shark a little bit to stay on the theme of fish with catfish in Nashville. Like you're jumping the shark a little bit. They're good, yes, but I don't think they quite have the experience yet as a group.
Sure, it is a very young team.
It's a young team. There's a lot that they have to learn. I think there's some time that will need to be used to get better as a team overall. But Catherine, what's your hot take?
My hot take, going off of March Madness, is that Paige Beckers will be a top WNBA draft next season.
Okay.
There's speculation that she could have been this season, but she chose to do another year of school instead, so she's not ready to graduate. But I mean, on average, she got during March Madness, she got 28 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3.3 steals, and 2 threes. So I mean, I think she's on fire. I was really eager to see her versus Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark did win that, but I mean, she does great with the UConn Huskies, and I think she's going to be one to watch next year.
Yeah, I think I'm not too well versed in women's basketball in that space, but probably like Caitlin Clark, and also too this draft class, I feel like for the WNBA was also really strong. So that could obviously play a factor in her taking an extra year. I mean, it doesn't really hurt to take an extra year, get an extra year of development, really find and hone in some stuff maybe that wasn't as strong for her. For Beckers this season, and really, hopefully, be a top 5 draft pick. Because again, I think this draft was very, very strong with some other women that were in it. I mean, of course, Caitlin Clark going first overall,
yes,
and stuff like that too. So I don't think it's a bad play on her. Just wait it out. You have one more year, so might as well.
I think she could be a top draft pick next year. I mean, she's honestly got a lot of talent. She proved it this year. Proved it against some really good teams such as Iowa. 21.9 points per game this season, 53% field goal rate. I mean, she's a solid player. So I actually think that this isn't necessarily a hot take. I think she's got a good shot of being a top draft pick next year, but time will tell on that front. For my hot take, guys, the Green Bay Packers will win the Super Bowl in 2025. Now, I haven't talked a lot about the Packers this season, but trust me, this is going to be our year. And I may sound delusional, but I have a lot of reasons to back it up. There was no better QB in the final few months of the season than Jordan Love. He is the definition of legit. Look it up in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of Jordan Love next to the word legit.
Okay.
He went scorched earth on the Cowboys, man. And he took the 49ers to their absolute limit. And the defense, they're better now. No Joe Barry. He's not going to be a factor anymore. This team is going to get right back to where they need to be. And the contenders are gone. You don't have to worry as much about the 49ers. I think they're going to lose some steam. The Lions are not going to have that Cinderella run again. I don't think so. And the Eagles, they've collapsed harder than the Toys R Us Corporation. So, trust me, the Packers are winning the Lombardi Trophy.
What? You're saying,
you're speechless.
You're saying the Eagles are not going to be contenders.
Nope.
Where, sure, they're losing some offensive linemen and stuff like that, but I think they're going to be...
Kelsey's gone, so that's it, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one guy. It's one guy.
That's the spirit of the team. That's the soul.
I don't know about that.
They're still good without him.
Yeah, they're still very good. I mean, you have Lane Johnson.
The Chiefs? Who cares about the Chiefs? Patrick Mahomes, who's he?
I mean, it's more about Taylor Swift's boyfriend, in my opinion. But, that's just me. But, I mean, the Cowboys, they're whatever. They're the Cowboys. But, I mean, you look at the 49ers. I mean, sure, they're going to be hurt a little bit after coming off, probably a Super Bowl they should have won.
Yes.
But I think they're going to come back with vengeance. I mean, Brock Purdy's that guy. Like, he's a really good quarterback. He went from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Relevant.
He did.
And, George Kittle, really solid. I think Debo's going to come back, and he's going to have a little bit of vengeance and play with a little chip on his shoulder. Fred Warner, who's arguably one of the best linebackers in the league, he's going to have a little chip on his shoulder too. So, I mean, I definitely think that it's going to be a really tall hill for the Packers to climb.
Lombardi Trophy. They're going to be holding it up at the end of the season. Jordan Love, Super Bowl MVP. Now, the fire may be dimmed for this season, but it is never truly out, guys. When we come back, we will put on those thinking caps one more time with our final Season 5 picks for the week. Stick around on Sportsballin.
Can you see me? Because I feel like I'm invisible. Like if it weren't for the news, no one would think of this place. But here we have bright spirits and vivid dreams. If only the world could see.
I believe in you. Just 4 simple words. But to a child in need, they mean the world. When you support a child through Save the Children, you're saying, I believe in you. You're worthy of good nutrition, quality healthcare, and education. I believe in you. Just 4 simple words that can bring hope, that can change a life. Visit sponsor.savethechildren.org/believe today and tell a child in need, I believe in you.
We do it. The stars come to Middle Tennessee State University, and students come here to become stars, no matter what they pursue. We do it all. We're the only college of media and entertainment in the world, just outside the heart of Nashville.
Mic check 1 2, everybody listen. When you do it like this, ain't no competition. I'm talking B.I.G., VIP. Treat them like a front row seat and make them pay attention. If I shoot for the 3, then I ain't never missing. Cranking up the degrees like I was in the kitchen. Can't lose, got too much to prove. And when you do it all, it get too hard to do.
Our curriculum and facilities are cutting edge, and our relationships with industry leaders give students an edge over the competition. Check it out. You can get real-world experience with degrees in recording industry, media arts, journalism and strategic media, and more. Media and entertainment at Middle Tennessee State University. Learn to shine.
Welcome back to Sportsballin. It's now time for our picks of the week, and our only pick of the week this week is Nashville SC versus Inter Miami Saturday at 6:30.
All I gotta say is Peta Messi, Peta Messi, Peta Messi. Give me Inter Miami on this one. I just don't think SC has it right now.
I'm with Evan on this one. I really don't think that SC has it.
Man, okay, so you guys are both going against SC. I was going to pick Nashville SC. I really was, but then that corner kick happened. That was atrocious, and I'm not forgiving them for it. Inter Miami, like Lionel Messi, they win easily in this one. But guys, you know, it's the final episode of Sportsballin'. It's a special time, so just want to say quickly before we go, thanks so much for a great season as always.
Yeah, you know, it's been a good one, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. I'm glad I got to be back on it for a little bit. So we'll see about next season if I'm back. But
it was my first. It was a lot of fun.
It was certainly a lot of fun. We were glad to have both of you as always.
I guess the deciding factor if I come back or not is me. But
is you. Well,
anyway.
He is the producer. But anyway, thank all of you so much as well for joining in. It's been a great season. If you've ever seen the SpongeBob movie, then you know that it's time to hit Ocean Man. But don't worry, we will be back in the fall for even more of that Sportsballin' goodness. Season 6 is on the way, and to catch that and all of our episodes, tune in right here to Blue Raider Television. For Evan Snyder and Catherine Gorbett, I am Dylan Simmons saying so long for the final time in Season 5, and remember to always have an electric night.